afternoon. Afternoon, everyone. This is Car Radio, and I am Mbuso Ngobese on the Joyride Show. A beautiful day again on Thursday. So, date today is 7 October 2021. Welcome, everyone, wherever you are in the land. We are welcoming you. Thanks to Ntokozo in our studios. Thank you very much, my sister. Hopefully, you're so good. You're having a beautiful day indeed. Yeah, today is Thursday. So it's a cool day, and there's some interesting stories on my lineup. So yeah, one of those ones concerning Bishop Desmond Tutu. So yeah, I'm hoping that you're gonna be so happy to hear from that one as well. And there's a lot of stories again concerning a campaign. As you know, soon we are going to vote. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are going around, but we are hoping that things are going to be okay as soon as possible. So yeah, hopefully you're so good today. I am good. I'm happy. It's been a fruitful day indeed. I'm busy preparing for something I have to do tomorrow, and I wake up early in the morning today. And also I've learned ukuthi yazi empilweni ukulala kwenza ukuthi udle okuningi, but ma busy isikhathi sokudla siyancipha. I know ukuthi when it comes to ngibeka mangathi udle okuningi, you are using money for no reason sometimes. If you are not doing anything, you are not busy with anything. But once you find yourself busy doing something, then you less spend than someone who spends without doing anything, you know. So I can see even the way I eat, I don't eat too much because I don't have time. My time is where I am doing a lot of things, trying to make cash, hey? Yeah, cash is good. Yeah, we can say so because everything moves with cash. So we can't lie and we can't really ignore that. Ukuthi impilo isihamba no cash phakathi. So we really So right now we're gonna check on our top stories for today. Let's recognize Bishop Desmond Tutu. So we got that here. The president has wished one of the nation's favorite father a very happy 90th birthday, African Archbishop or Anglican Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu celebrates his 90th on a birthday, which is today. So President Cyril Ramaphosa has added his wishes to those streaming in from across the globe. So Ramaphosa has wished the globally renowned Anglican Archbishop Emeritus, a 1984 Nobel Peace Prize laureate and chairperson of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, a happy birthday. So the president has praised Tutu for his role as a fighter in the cause of human rights, equality, and social justice. Acting presidential spokesperson Thabisile said, "You will continue to remind us that fellowship, solidarity, charity, and compassion for the vulnerable are values common to us all, and we should strive to live by them each day." So Phil said that the president acknowledged the moral and ethical guidance that the Archbishop had provided to the national after liberation. So the president expressed his deepest so it's very good to know that Hulmenwe to express his deepest regard to Archbishop Tutu for a life well lived in honey integrity, in honesty, integrity, fearlessness, and service to humanity in South Africa and globally. So Tutu and his wife Lesh will attend a special service at the St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town and spend the rest of the day surrounding by family. You know, my dream was to reach 100 years. So I'm happy that Archbishop Desmond Tutu is around there, only 10 years away. So yeah, I'm a couple of things. There's something that can stop me to do so. Busy like trying to make sure we're and also making sure I respect abantu, because self-respect and other people's respect yenza ukuthi impilo futhi iqhubeke iye phambili. So ngaleyo ndlela leyo, I'm hoping and I'm looking forward to be the one who reaches 100 years. I know it's in our time it's very hard to reach 100 years, but through God, I'm hoping I will just get there, because I wish to be one of those people to tell the story, like the story of pandemic, the story of HIV, because maybe in a couple of more than 50 years from now, HIV will be something like a dream, all those things of President Jacob Zuma goes to jail, all those stories. I want to be a part of storytellers in the future. So yeah, I'm hoping. Let's just check another story here, which is the Congress of South Africa Trade Union, Eyazona COSATU in Gauteng, has criticized the African National Congress, the ANC, for its lack of leadership in dealing with corruption and unemployment. COSATU, as a key ally of the governing ANC, is on a national strike against corruption, job losses, retrenchments, gender-based violence, and attack of collective bargaining. So the Trade Federation has handed over their list of demands to provincial leadership at Mary Fiscal Rail Square in Johannesburg. So Transport MEC Jacob Mambolo has received the memorandum on behalf of the Premier. So COSATU Provincial Chairperson Amos Monyela read out some of their demands. That we are hoping that sooner or later people will be in orange, and secondly, the mismanagement of SOEs is a problem to us. So meanwhile, in the Eastern Cape, workers from various sectors gathered in Hangover Street on Thursday that with their red T-shirts and protest. Posters reading Den Plateau, we want our increase and no to job losses. So they marched to Cape Town Civil Center, where they handed over memorandum to the city of Cape Town, demanding the municipality to do away with labor brokers and address their concern around the EPWP system. So COSATU Malvel de Bruce said, as workers, we are unhappy, especially the municipality workers. If you look at the EPWP system that has been abused for over years, so they've replaced permanent workers with fewer workers in order for them to save money. So the Bruin said they also wanted to highlight the issue being raised nationally, such as corruption, job losses, and retrenchment. I think this concern it's a very good concern as well. In our country as citizens, we are really going through a bad situation when it comes to job losses and retrenchments and also corruption. And it seems as if there's nothing happening to fight against all those things. It's like it's good as it is, but as COSATU comes out and talk about this, I think I'm happy and I think the whole South Africa is happy. I was just driving down on the North Coast Road. Yes, now it's Chris Honey Road. I was just driving up to Road House to town, and I've seen some red T-shirts. They were just doing a very peaceful march. I was so happy about that peaceful march, and I can urge people, if all of us, maybe sometimes wherever we are, willing to protest, but should be in a very proper manner the way we do our protest. So I was wondering what was happening, but I got that on news that this is all about this is bakhalela ukuthi siyadilizwa bakithi siyadilizwa umsebenzi ayikho. Can you imagine uyadilizwa umsebenzini, then after awasa ukuthi uzodlana and uhulumeni njengenza ukuthi ngalokho? I think they are complaining for something that is so good, but if also you have your own point of view concerning this situation, as we are live on our Facebook, on our YouTube, you can also say something about this and tell us maybe how do you see COSATU as they are doing this. Do you support them or do you not support them? Let's move forward and check on other stories. So the presidency said National Police Commissioner Thabisile already responded with the reason why he should not be suspended. So the presidency on Thursday officials today revealed that Thabisile was informed of intention to suspend him. And in January, the High Court found Thabisile and two deputies had placed the interest of the African National Congress ahead of the country. So for 3 years, they had refused to hand over documents to the Independent Police Investigative Directorate relating to a probe into the procurement of the surveillance device. So those funds were apparently diverted to the ANC. Okay, President's spokesperson Thabisile said that the president has, in terms of Section 9 of the South African Police Service Act of 1995, read with Section 8 of the same act, deemed inappropriate that at this stage to institute a board of inquiry against the commissioner into alleged misconduct and fitness of office of National Commissioner of Police. This is also merited by the public interest in the integrity of the office of the National Commissioner. So meanwhile, ANC Deputy President David Mabuza on Thursday said he didn't know reason behind President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to suspend Thabisile, but expressed confidence in Ramaphosa. So Mabuza was out campaigning in Soshanguve this afternoon on behalf of the ANC ahead of the local government election. He said Ramaphosa was above petty politics and that his decision will reflect such. So Mabuza said that he trusted Ramaphosa's observation. Said, I am not going to challenge the observation of the president. I've always believed in his wisdom, and he is a man that is above petty conflict. If he takes a decision, it means there is a real reason why he took it. Support the leadership. So good to support your leaders. Okay. Another story here that touches Phoenix issue. You remember something that happened in Phoenix a couple of months ago concerning the unrest that was happening. More than 30 people died over there. But there's something that is happening there. There's a post. I will read this post as follows. It says, and the top side says, the ANC called you racist. The DA calls you heroes. Okay. This post here is from DA. And it's a post that shows 40 DA here is campaigning for Ama vote. But there is something that leaves us or left us with inverted commas. We have a question here. We have to ask. It says the ANC called you racist. This is in Phoenix, okay? And then there's a post at the bottom says it's one the same post, but a different post in the same poll. Yay! And in the bottom says the DA calls you heroes. Okay, but this is confusing. This is confusing. Let's just read the story here. Democratic Alliance on Thursday said it was in a process of removing its controversial election posters in Phoenix. The posters, which were put on Thursday, read the ANC called you racist, A calls you heroes. So the DA said that the posters were to honor those who stood up to protect their properties during the July unrest. But the posters have been largely criticized for fueling racist tension. So 36 people were killed in the area during the looting in July, with a number of residents standing trial for murder. DA and Chairperson Udin Mashperson said that they had inadvertently caused offense. Okay, he said that in my sincere effort to honor the bravery and heroism of law-abiding citizens who were left to fend for themselves during the July riots and insurrection, the posters have regretfully caused hurt to some people, and they said that I am deeply sorry. So he also apologized. My intended messages was that in the massive void created by the failing state, unable to secure South Africa's home and businesses during the riot, some heroic residents were forced to stand up and do what the police and army were unable to do. This action was met with allegations of racist from the ANC. He said that he wanted to ensure the public without a contradiction that his intentions were sincere. It is sincere, right? And he blamed the ANC for playing the race game. And they saw it on the movie screen, and the ANC response to people who looked after themselves for the entire week was that they were racist. Yeah, you can follow the story. It is a very sensitive story, though. A very sensitive story. And I want to know which the police minister, Bheki, what is he has to say about this. But here's the story. Police Minister Bheki has spoken out against the Democratic Alliance election posters in Phoenix near Durban. So the posters, which read as the ANC called you racist, the DA calls you heroes, has been put up the Phoenix as a party tries to gain more support ahead of the local government election. So Tale was speaking in Mabopane Street in Mbuso on Wednesday afternoon. So the Mbuso follows campaigns about the high level of crime. So the DA posters in Phoenix have been largely criticized across the board, with many saying they were fueling local tension, racial tension. The posters were unveiling on Tuesday. So now Tele also has a code such as a testament, nothing that happened in the area during the July unrest. He said that we've got 56 people that are appearing in different courts in KZN to stand up and say those people are heroes. And are they real heroes, Mr. Stenham Slim? Because those people that were killed are African. 36 people were killed in Phoenix during the wave of unrest in July. Yo, it's a very sensitive story, this one. A very sensitive story, this one, and I'm hoping ukuthi kunezinto ezinhle ezizokwenzeka emva kwale, because this is really ifusa udlame kubantu. You're still listening to Car Radio, okay? And still even now we're live on Facebook and on our YouTube as well. You can follow Utinji Car Radio. Then you would be then you will be able to see what is happening. And let's just read another story here. Some beautiful story. Which again, Ramaphosa will be making sure within Dambama we are Kurumani nation. So we are looking up to that. Which again also since the last speech from him was where he was trying to put us on our level 1. So even today we are anticipating to hear from him, which is also tonight. So President Ramaphosa said that by empowering women economically, their risk to vulnerability, abuse, and violence was reduced, giving them control of their own future. So the president was speaking during the launch of the first ever Women's Economic Assembly, which brought together delegates from government, civil society, and private sector to develop a common plan of action for advancing women's economic empowerment. So Ramaphosa called on both private and public sector to ensure that effort to create economic gender equality translated into tangible growth and sustainability. He said that by improving the economic circumstances of women, reducing their vulnerable, or we are reducing they are vulnerable to abuse and as well as to violence. A woman that is in charge of their economic future is a woman with power over her own life. That's the president says. And then the president urged every government, department, public institution, and private company to implement mechanism to fast-track preferential procurements for female-owned enterprise. Particularly, usile abantu abasebenza ama small businesses, because it's not about all big sectors, but even those informal sectors, they need to be supported. They need to be supported, actually. There are a lot of women that are running informal settlements, but they don't get a fund. So, Mr. President, we are bowing down and we are asking you, Uti, please support those people that are working as informal settlements, informal sectors. They also need cash, and that's how they come to meet you halfway as abantu abayisebenzayo. So we just urge you, Mr. President, to come and it's not about informal, because they also go and buy somewhere somehow to make sure with Nabo they make a living. So we need to support them, and we need you to support. We really ask, and also we are looking forward to take a look at when they go over. They are also a part of the economy. They are also a part of the movement. Can you imagine if maybe they don't buy, they just have to buy, then it's going to be a very, very bad situation in our country, because they're also the part of amalokuzana sibiza ngani biza ngama customers. So if they buy from informal sectors, then they go to sell it in their informal. So they also need funding to go and buy to be supported as well. So we are so disappointed when it comes to especially to apply for a temporary permit, working permit. Then they're delaying so much, and it is really killing our informal settlements as well. And the last one that we need to check on is IFP wants KZN held MEC to detail plans to keep safe after attack. So here we got the Inkatha Freedom Party is challenging the KwaZulu-Natal MEC of Health, Unomagugu Simelane Zulu, to tell the public exactly what plans were in place to keep paramedics safe after a paramedic was shot and killed this week. Mzile Dlamini and colleague were ambushed near Escort in the early hours. So they already picked up a patient who fractured a leg when they were rerouted to home of a man who been shot. So having stabilized the man, shots were fired outside the ambulance, and both Dlamini and her colleague were wounded. She died while her crew member was rushed to hospital in a critical condition. So the provincial health department has called on communities to expose those behind attacks on ambulance crews. But the IFE said that paramedics will live in a constant fear of being shot or attacked. It also wants President Thabisile to intervene as a matter. Yeah. So in 1 minute time, we'll be enjoying a beautiful joy song from the Queen of the Yeah. So it's coming up now in 1 minute. When we're coming back with the topic of the day, and also with the word of God, and sometimes again the motivation can come, and yes, the power of force also. So yeah. We'll be talking about which do not blame abantu izinto abayizona just because awubazi baqhamuka ngaphi. There's a lot of things esibayizona because what happened in our previous time. It's half past now. Let us enjoy the joy song from Queen of the Palace, Ngiyayibona, coming back from the song.
Mbuso isifike
Let's get into it now. It's time for our topic of the day today. You know, as Tila Sugan, our background Sugan, as shaper something that we didn't want to be. But through a situation, it takes us to some certain position. And those positions, sometimes we don't plan for them. We find ourselves in those situations. And I can say that most of us, we regret sometimes where we are, but only to find that this was only way out. Sometimes that happens because of the lack of information, or maybe lack of trust, or maybe to have no one to assist. And then you find yourself in some certain situation. For instance, like Uber is giving you to be a thief or to be a thug. You know, sometimes you find yourself as a thug or someone who is stealing, hijacker, all those things. But it not just comes from a play, although sometimes others it comes from that, but the most abantu abenza hijacking and those people abantu abebezama empilweni trying to be something better bavaleleke emathubeni athile, and then no one came up wavula isicabha for bona, because the truth is someone must open the door for you. You know, this is true, and we can't really run away from that one, because we need someone to open a door for you. And once you got someone who opens the door for you, you enter. And when you enter, you got an opportunity to tell or to show who you are. But if there's no one who is really opening a door for you, and it's the end of life. Even if you can go to school, go to university, and try to find some work, but there's someone who's there in an HR department who is waiting, who should open the door for you. But if there's no one who is opening the door for you, and then it's where the option it comes, and it used to be a quick option and a very risk option. Risk, and also it's sometimes it's dangerous, or it's risk, or it's sensitive, or else it's really what is it? It's a humiliating one. Yeah, but we ended up doing those things because kunomnyango esingawuficanga ufica ngabe khona ovulayo, and there was no one who is opening doors for us. And it comes back to the community, whereby community will start criticizing of who you are, and they will give you some names like Wiskebengu, Wikinta, or Uninhliziyembi, or Winjana, or Uyanxishana, or all those things will come usithola amagama njalo ngenxa yokuthi you were trying all along, maybe for 5 years, 6 years you were trying, and no one was opening doors for you. And at the end, you've tried to find a quick route. And the quick route, the most of the time, you need to take risk because it's quick. It might take you through, or it won't take you through. So you ended up being in a position whereby you can't help yourself. Ngoba it's where you are, no one is raising hand to pick up you or to help you. So you ended up uba umuntu ongafuni uba uyena. So today we are in the situation whereby I want us, or as I wish like people they can start following ukuthi before umuntu abe lenta yona usuka happy. Yabo, I remember I was just passing the robot in town, and the guy, it's an old guy, a colored guy, but an old one. And then he was like in the robot asking for something to eat. I was like, oh, I have 5 friends here. I can just talk to this guy and give him these 5 friends. That's what I had. And then I called the guy, hey, where are you from? He said, no, I'm from Cape Town. Where in Cape Town? I said, no, in Henspark. Oh, in Henspark. He said, yes. Oh, thereby, they call it, there's a Henspark, there is Kukule to Kailicha, and all of those places there. I said, yeah, I'm just around those places. I was like, okay. So we're chatting, and he's a very cool guy, but for the fact that something happened, we don't know. I didn't ask a lot. But sometimes it's good to speak to people, someone who's strange, and make a very good conversation. And he said that, don't worry, my man, we are trying. Life is all about trying. But you can see he is on the road. This means he has learned a lot of things on the road or before it, because you don't know what happened to that person. So but you don't know the background to go. And at some point, we know that but there was a spirit behind. At the end of the day, we all want to live a victorious life, a clean life, beautiful life, a fancy life. But to use drugs, to use all those illegal things, we don't like to. But sometimes we find ourselves in it. And the reason why you need to follow, which is, before you get here, what happened? It's like this thing of GPV, where a man abusing a woman. But it's sensitive, I know. And because a lot of cases are cases whereby women got killed by a man. But there is no research behind because with killing. We don't know. And my point of view in this sensitive topic when it comes to GPV is like there should be something behind killing. There should be something where it started. It could be a family. It could be between them. It could be an old anger. It could be a community. It could be a lot of things that lead to be a killer, you know. But we don't know. And I think there should be a forum or an organization in South Africa that is really, really calls a suspect or the one who killed someone to research with speak the truth, so that other people will learn with it. Avoid this certain thing, because if you don't avoid, you will end up killing somebody, you know. Because sometimes it won't be like HPV as if like HPV, but it can be something like we keep the anger to someone, but this anger happened long time ago. And the time they end the Puma, someone was in the house. And maybe they were fighting for something or they were having an argument with a very little thing. But because of an old anger, maybe, I'm not sure, like I'm assuming, because I know there is always a story behind the story. But no one is following, the most of the time, no one is following because we have no forum follows after a case. Even okay, you have this sentence, 10-year sentence in prison. But no one follows behind which is speak the truth. Write a letter or write a book. What really happened? Because already now you are behind bars. You are like started your own square. But okay, what really happened before you do this? No one is following. So we ended up as people. We are there in a situation whereby we find ourselves in the same certain position because of some situation happened in our past. So we ended up and calling people by names. But you know, it's like someone who tried to open a business and that person maybe has a container, water container, but what happened? It's a lack of place where to place it. He's willing though to put his or her container in some certain spots, but only to find that there's no place for you here, you can't park here, you can't use the space. And only to find that maybe in Taketiate was that space. And he has a business plan of doing that thing. And if it tries to put some certain container there, they remove it, or else they burn it, or else they tow it. Maybe he has an equipment. Okay. All equipment is in order. He spent a lot of money trying to put everything together and like underline this one. As he is putting everything together, the reason is to meet government halfway. Meet government halfway. Because our government in South Africa says, wake up and trying to do anything to put food on the table. Then somewhere. But at the end, you have all the equipment that needs you to start. And even worse, you have your own capital to start your own business. But the only thing that's now lacking is someone to give you land to work. And you're up and down. Maybe the guy is up and down. The lady is up and down looking for a place. And at the end of the day, he doesn't get the place. Remember, he has all the equipment that he needs to start the business. All the equipment is in order. Even the capital is there. But the thing is, it's a lack of land where to put it. Okay. So can you imagine if this person thinks about what he sees in front of him or in front of them, they can see everything is in order, but on the thing that is not there is a land. What is happening inside and in his mind, in his heart, and automatically he changes to be someone else. Because once you buy an equipment, you think about your mind that I'm making a business, you are investing in it. When you invest in it, you are counting in a couple of years with making a returns. But only to find that equipment is in his container doing nothing, and he lost a lot of money buying equipment for some certain things. It might be a food container, it might be a salon container, it might be anything. But only to find that no one is helping. Instead of getting help, he got a rejection. And then he starts hating his or her decisions of buying this. But on his mind was thinking that, okay, I'm meeting my government halfway, other than to go there to ask him for everything. Some other people are like that. They can buy all equipment and saying that, okay, guys, I'm meeting my government away halfway, so that if we figure in, we'll never get in now, because I can qualify, or I can afford to buy my own equipment, but I can't buy land because land is expensive. But I would just go to our government to ask for land. Or given that, even if they try to apply for a land, but if the response comes back, it's like no vacant land for now available, or for now we don't release our permit. Can you imagine? Why is this built inside that particular person? It's built someone who is angry. It's built anger. It's built in rejection, and also it's built. Okay, I regret myself by buying this, or else it brings. It's like I'm a failure now. I need to do something that is quick to make money because this one is failing. And that person can start being a robber because it's a quick one. There is no boundaries to be a robber. You have your own gun. You do whatever you want to do because now you can stay with it. Or you've tried your best, and then you become what you don't like. Because you need to put something on the table. Maybe you have kids, you have wife, you have your own needs as well, and then you turn out to be someone who is not just because it's in the wisdom of Pumalanga. Just because you needed someone to open doors for you, but no one came. Remember, when it comes to entertainment industry and production industry, Oskito open a door for DJ Tira. You see? Which is, it's all about opening the door. And DJ Tira opened the door for who? Open the door for Ama Kobe Queen. Now we know Ama Q Queens, Ngoba, DJ did open doors for them. So this thing is all about opening doors for someone. So if there is no one who is opening doors for you, you ended up being someone you didn't like to. And then we as community, we start giving people amagama, wuthi, you are this, 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 you are this. But I find that akathanda ukubala, but there's a story behind lenta yona. Because lenta yona namhlanje into eyenzeke na before yamenza yaba lenta yona. Ama-challenge abhekana empilweni, abanye ukulahlekelwa abazali, abanye ukuhlukumezeka, abanye ukuthi babezama bengahlakantshezwa umuntu, abe ubuhlungu uzama ungalekelele, yabo, abanye unga-appreciate, uzama ukwenza yonke into. As I was saying, if you have all the equipment and you need a place to work, that means the whole man appreciates. It's quite clear that our government, if it doesn't give us a lands to work, a permits to work, that means I appreciate. If you don't appreciate it to meet your government away, what should you do? Then you started up thinking about evil things. Yeah, but we just take a quick route. And if we are taking a quick route used to be risk, and quick route used to left other people injured. Because let's say maybe you're taking a quick route of being a robber. In robbing site or sin, maybe you're robbing someone who has a gun. You can be able even got injured just because you were there, or else you can injure someone, and else you can kill someone. But where did this start? It has started whereby you were not getting a helping hand to meet you halfway. So what I want to say, or I want to highlight, is that before we give people names, we need to think and see where actually did this started, where it began. And because there's always the beginning of something. There is always the beginning of something. There is always. You know what beggars important, they're begging for food, there's something happened before. There are drugs, there's something happened before. There's a killing, there's something happened before. Just because something happened before. You know what? I need a gun. I need a gun. And they end up having a gun. Sometimes if you go to apply for a gun in the police station, which no, I need a gun, they used to ask, why do you need a gun? And they need to tell a story, no, it's self-protection, and also it's my family protection. Because just because of this and this and this and this. And once we try to monitor spam, it's like, oh, so that party spam, so but it's not that for other time. So I would say, just have a warning. Anything that is happening, there is a beginning of it. There is a cause of it. There was a start. Something happened, and then and again, we can't really change that. But we mustn't criticize. At least we must pray with our God, please intervene in our situation. Because right now, we are going through a very difficult time. We find ourselves in a different way. God give us a good direction to find ourselves in a good one. Because at the end of the day, in the wrong is wrong. We cannot tolerate that. I'm doing this because I'm hungry. It's like this thing of looting. We do this because we are hungry. Yes, we are hungry, but wrong is wrong. And you cannot blame people about they were looting food. We can't blame them for that one. So, all of these things, there is something happened before, then it's ending up evil and angel. All of these things. So, today, this is our topic. Before we just give names to people, let's first start by asking ourselves some questions, which I wonder what happened, because something happened. And if you are willing to be a helping hand, go to this person and ask, what really happened? Oh, what really happened to you as they're doing this certain job? I don't know where's the good, no good, no good, no good. Then if you can help, help. And if you can't help, pray with the blessings of God. Because we are all somebody, because of somebody. We need someone to open doors. Even today, I used to say, well, these things happened because someone came and gave me an opportunity. You see? So all the time, there must be someone who is like raising hand, who would say, can I help you? So that will say, yes, I need you to help me because I need help. You see? So instead of blaming people, giving people names of what they are, please find solution to solve their problems if you can. Exactly. Yeah. So we are 5 minutes away from 4 o'clock, from 5 o'clock. Officials now, we gotta go and check on the word of God. After that, we'll be checking with the making sense on time. We must share some things. What is it that can be shared to you and be happy now? But first and first, is namandla. So this is something that you need to read every day because it is beautiful. Today we are reading from Deuteronomy 20 verse 1. It reads as follows: when you go out to war against your enemies and see horses, chariots, and an army larger than yours, do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, is with you. So sometimes it can feel as though the opposition we are facing is overwhelming, and then the challenge you are facing is not larger than the God within you. So the one who is with you is able to do more than could imagine. It's a beautiful one. The one who is with you is able to do more than you could imagine or think. So do not be overwhelmed. He is with you and he is on your side. If ever you are facing some situations, our God is so good. He is always willing to raise the hand. Can I help you? And for you to do is just to say, God help me. Because right now, I'm out of plans. As we know, no amount of darkness can remove the hope we have in the Lord. He is with you. He is close beside you. So he has what you need to know security and comfort in your life. He will protect you, and therefore, you do not need to be concerned or afraid. All those ones are the things that's very, very important. There is no amount of darkness can remove the hope we have in the Lord. As we are reading here, Deuteronomy, when you go out to war against the enemy, see horses, chariots, and the army larger than yours, do not be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, is with you. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. We are 2 minutes away from 5 o'clock. Now we are going to give you this important lesson of the day. Mistakes are opportunities to learn and develop great relationships and careers. So the better you are at learning from mistakes as individual or as an organization, the more chance you have of becoming a better, more evolved entity, or resist playing the blame game. Learn to accept and own up to your mistakes and milestones you will learn from. So this will gain you the respect and loyalty of your colleagues, bosses, and partners of friends. So yeah, it's very simple. It's very, very simple. Don't shift blame, but it's good to take your blames, or else make sure with your mistakes and then you read from them. It's very, very, very important to do that. And then now it's time. Time is 5 o'clock. It is time for me to just live and love and leave you. Have a blessed day. And then also remember to this is the career-wise Tuesday. So this is the Joyride, and my name is Mbuso Ngobese. I'm just tuning out now. See you on Tuesday. Be blessed wherever you are in the land. Goodbye.